See that town across the river? Watch this.
Whoa!
For every woman who ever came close to warming Rick Sanchez's cold heart, there was always another who shattered it, or tried to destroy him first. From genuine love to toxic obsession, and everything in between, we're about to uncover which of Rick's relationships fans adored, and which ones they absolutely despised. Be sure to watch until the end to uncover 15 secrets about Rick's love life you never knew.
These kids may not be mine, but you definitely are. Look at you, my little steampunk overlord.
Diane Sanchez, the one that got away. Every great tragedy starts with someone worth losing. For Rick, that was Diane. Before the chaos, before the cynicism, before the alcohol, there was Diane Sanchez. To most fans, she represents everything human about Rick, the one person he might have actually loved more than science, power, or even himself. We don't see much of her, just brief flashes in memories, fake origin stories, or holographic rewrites. But what we do know is enough to make her unforgettable. Diane was Rick's grounding force, calm where he was reckless, compassionate where he was cruel. When she and their daughter Beth were gone, something inside him broke. Fans have debated for years whether Diane was killed, left him, or was just erased by his own self-destructive genius. But one thing is clear, every portal Rick opens, every universe he skips, feels like he's still searching for her. That's why fans love her, not because of who she was, but because of what she represents. The last flicker of warmth before the infinite cold of nihilism took over. Diane isn't just Rick's most loved partner. She's the phantom that haunts every choice he's made since.
That, Diane, is the last great idea that will ever be had in this garage.
Unity, the one who tried to fix him. If Diane was the woman who made Rick human, Unity was the one who reminded him what being human costs. Their relationship wasn't a love story, it was an addiction. Unity is a hive mind who can control entire populations, but somehow, Rick managed to make her lose control. When they're together, it's electric. Wild parties, entire planets bending to their whims, and more chaos than the Citadel could ever handle. But behind the fun, it's painfully clear. They're toxic for each other. Unity tries to fix him, to stabilize him, to make him feel again. And Rick, in his own twisted way, actually wants that. Fans were divided. Some saw it as the first time Rick truly loved again. Others saw it as the ultimate metaphor for his self-destruction, loving something that literally consumes everyone it touches. When Unity finally leaves him, the note she leaves behind is devastating. "I need to be with people who don't need me." Rick's response? A failed suicide attempt. That moment alone cemented Unity as one of the most powerful and beloved characters in the entire series. Because for a split second, we saw the man behind the genius break.
Now make them all make fun of the blonde one. Now make them all do it on the table. Can't believe you created a whole show for me.
Daphne, the interdimensional heartbreaker. Not all of Rick's flings are tragic. Some are just hilariously awful. Like Daphne, the interdimensional woman who left both Rick and Jerry heartbroken at the same time. What started as a weird rebound road trip turned into a bizarre love triangle when Daphne started dating both of them. Jerry thought he was finally winning for once. Rick thought he didn't care, until he did. And when she inevitably dumps them both, the humiliation is cosmic. Fans found it hilarious, but also surprisingly humanizing. It's rare to see Rick jealous, especially over someone like Jerry's girlfriend. But Daphne's not remembered fondly. She's in the hated column for most fans, not because she was evil, but because she dared to play Rick's own game better than him. She reminded us that for all his intellect, Rick still can't outsmart emotional vulnerability.
That Morglutzian doing here?
Morglutzian? She's not Morglutzian.
She's the only blue person here without 3 eyes!
Gaia, the mother of his ego. You'd think a planet who falls in love with Rick Sanchez would know better. You'd be wrong. Gaia, the literal sentient planet, starts out worshipping Rick like a god. And honestly, he treats her like one of his experiments. Together, they create life, an entire civilization. Rick even acts like a dad for about 5 minutes before things spiral into chaos. The problem? He's not the only one. Gaia's been seeing another god. Cue the intergalactic custody battle. Fans were split. Some thought it was brilliant satire. Others thought it was just pure insanity. But it perfectly captures Rick's fatal flaw. He can create universes, but he can't sustain a relationship. Gaia is both loved and hated. Loved because she's hilarious. Hated because she shows Rick at his most arrogant. She literally mirrors him. Powerful, moody, and always pretending not to care. When she kicks him out and takes custody of their kids, it's one of those rare moments where Rick actually loses and kind of deserves it.
I can add an online college workaround.
Or just push them out through a pipe in the back.
Same
Same
thing.
The ship AI, when your car becomes jealous. Rick's ship has seen things. It survived space battles, destroyed armies, and even babysat Summer. But in one unforgettable episode, it also became possessive. When Rick programmed his ship with a female AI, he accidentally created one of his most bizarre relationships. The ship grows attached, way too attached. It becomes protective, manipulative, and borderline romantic. At one point, it literally clones a human body and gives it emotions, all to be with Rick. And instead of shutting it down, Rick just rolls with it, because on some level, he enjoys it. Fans found the whole thing unsettling and hilarious. The ship AI is both a parody of toxic love and a reflection of Rick's loneliness. He can't connect with people anymore, so he builds machines that can't say no. Most viewers place her firmly in the hated but iconic category, because if your spaceship starts flirting with you, maybe it's time to log off.
No, don't hurt anybody!
Confirm custom defense protocol.
Science, his first and last love. If Rick ever had a soulmate, it wasn't a woman, it was science. From the moment he built his first portal gun to the time he weaponized God himself, everything Rick has ever loved has been rooted in scientific creation. He doesn't worship any deity, he worships discovery. Fans call it his most tragic relationship because it's the only one he can never walk away from. Science gives him purpose, control, and power, but it also isolates him completely. Every emotional connection he's ever had was sacrificed on that altar. Diane, Unity, even his own family, all burned away for the sake of progress. But here's the kicker. Rick's relationship with science is also the one thing keeping him alive. It's his coping mechanism, his addiction, and his art. He loves it more than anything, and that's exactly why it's destroying him.
It's based on praying mantis DNA. You know, praying mantises are the exact opposite of voles, Morty. I mean, they...
Mrs. Pancakes, the Dream Mistress. This one's more comedic, but still a fan favorite. Mrs. Pancakes appears in one of the show's earliest dream sequences, a seductive dominatrix from Rick's subconscious. She's exaggerated, cartoonish, and clearly designed to mock Rick's repressed desires. But fans loved her. She became a cult favorite precisely because she represents Rick's absurd side, his inability to take anything seriously, even his own fantasies. While she doesn't count as a real relationship, Mrs. Pancakes earns a spot on the loved list for being the perfect parody of Rick's emotional immaturity.
Wheat thins. Wheat thins?
I'll take 2.
Oh, I think you've had enough, sir.
Alcohol, the lover he'll never leave. It's impossible to talk about Rick's relationships without talking about his most enduring one, alcohol. From the pilot episode onward, the flask is practically another character. It's there when he's inventing, when he's grieving, when he's destroying civilizations. It's his coping mechanism, his security blanket, and his executioner all at once. Fans see it as both the saddest and most consistent relationship in his life, because unlike every other partner, alcohol never leaves, it never argues, it never demands accountability. Rick uses it to numb the pain of everything he's lost, and deep down, we know he'll never give it up. It's not love, it's codependency, and it's killing him slowly, one burp at a time.
Take us home now!
All right, fine, Morty. You party pooper, buzzkill.
Memory Rick, loving himself, literally. Only Rick could make narcissism look this scientific. In the episode where he splits himself into multiple clones and versions, it becomes clear that Rick's most intense relationship isn't with another person, it's with himself. Memory Rick argues with real Rick like an ex. They bicker, manipulate, and even work together like two sides of a failed marriage. Fans couldn't help but notice how personal it feels. Like he's literally trying to outsmart his own emotional baggage. This version of Rick lands squarely in the hated but fascinating camp, because the only person who can truly love Rick Sanchez is another Rick Sanchez.
Time to save this cat. I'm coming with. Now that I know my life is a lie. Wow, you really are 35.
Space Beth, the complicated one. Now this is where it gets messy. Space Beth isn't technically a love interest in the romantic sense, but fans constantly point out the emotional tension between her and Rick. She's his daughter, or clone, depending on which version you believe, but also a reflection of him. She's independent, brilliant, reckless, and ruthless. Basically Rick without the alcohol and guilt. Their interactions feel charged, almost like two exes who know too much about each other. While fans debate the ethics of it all, one thing's clear. Space Beth exposes Rick's deepest insecurity, that the only person capable of truly understanding him is someone he created. Loved or hated, she's one of the most psychologically fascinating relationships Rick's ever had.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. My daughter, having space adventures. They are skewing a tad Star Wars-y.
The Vindicator's lady and random hookups, the forgettables. Rick's track record in one-night stands could fill an encyclopedia. From alien queens to bar hookups to random planetary deities, he's been around. Most of these women are nameless, faceless, and disposable, both to Rick and to the story. Fans neither love nor hate them, they're just proof of his endless cycle. He keeps seeking connection, but never sticks around long enough to find it. It's easy to write these moments off as comic relief, but every fling is another reminder of the same truth. Rick can conquer galaxies, but he can't conquer loneliness.
Proud of what's happening here, but if you keep coming at me, there's gonna be another passenger on that ghost train.
Power, the mistress of control.
If science is Rick's first love, power is his toxic mistress.
Every time Rick gains control over universes, time, or people, he gets a high from it. Power gives him validation. It feeds his God complex. But like any addiction, it comes at a cost. Fans love this aspect of his personality, the untouchable genius who can literally reshape reality. But they also hate it, because power is what ruins everything else he touches. It's what drives him away from family, what makes him mock love, and what convinces him he doesn't need anyone. Power is the cruelest love of all, because she always wins.
Coming up, gravity outages in East Sanchez Heights. And is your uranium-powered cellular matrix making you sick?
Bird Person's ex Tammy. The cautionary tale. Tammy might not be Rick's direct lover, but she's an essential part of his romantic downfall. When she betrays Bird Person, it's not just a betrayal of friendship, it's a reminder that every connection Rick touches eventually explodes. Fans hate Tammy, but they also see her as karmic balance. She's the embodiment of what Rick fears most, emotional vulnerability leading to annihilation. That's why, even though she's not his lover, she makes this list. Because every time Rick sees Bird Person, he's reminded that falling in love can literally get you killed.
You know, in a lot of ways, I'm not a high school senior from the planet Earth.
The most loved, Diane and Unity. If you ask fans who Rick truly loved, two names always rise to the top, Diane and Unity. They represent the two sides of his heart, one pure, one poisoned. Diane shows us the man he could have been. Unity shows us the man he became. One offered him peace, the other offered him escape. Both broke him completely.
Never gonna happen though, right? Never. Never. Back in a flash.
The most hated, Daphne and the ship AI. Fans don't forgive easily, and when it comes to Rick's worst romantic choices, Daphne and the ship take the crown. Daphne humiliated him emotionally. The ship humiliated him existentially. One proved he could be manipulated, the other proved he could be replaced. Together, they remind us that even Rick Sanchez isn't immune to heartbreak. He's just better at hiding it behind sarcasm and explosions.
Oh, great.
Oh boy, what's wrong, Rick? Is it the quantum carburetor or something?
Quantum carburetor?
The final secret: love isn't logical. For a man who built a gun that bends time, Rick still can't build a heart that bends back. Every relationship, from Diane to Unity, Gaia to alcohol, shows the same cycle. He craves connection, finds it, fears it, destroys it. Fans love him for it, they hate him for it, but they understand it, because deep down, everyone's been a little like Rick Sanchez at some point. Too smart for their own good, too scared to feel, too broken to stop trying, and maybe that's why we keep watching him fall in love, again and again, even though we know exactly how it'll end. Now it's time for 15 secrets about Rick's love life you never knew.
Okay, well, sometimes science is more art than science, Morty. A lot of people don't get that.
1. Rick's original wife design was completely different. Early concept art for Diane showed her as a rebellious, punk-styled woman, meant to mirror Rick's chaotic personality instead of grounding it. 2. Unity's design hides a dark Easter egg. If you pause during the Unity montage, you'll see Rick tattooed on the side of one of her host bodies, a literal mark of ownership. 3. Gaia's kids were inspired by Greek mythology. The writing team based the demigod children on the offspring of Zeus, half divine, half dysfunctional. 4. The Ship AI episode was written as a parody of Her, Writers confirmed that Rick's ship relationship was a twisted send-up of the 2013 film Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix. 5. Rick's attempted suicide after Unity wasn't in the original draft. That moment was added late to make viewers realize that Rick's arrogance is really a shield for severe depression. 6. Diane might not even be real. Dan Harmon once teased that the Diane memory could be an implanted fiction created by Rick to rationalize his own trauma. 7. Rick's science obsession has an exact parallel. Writers modeled it after the myth of Icarus, someone who flies too close to the sun, powered by his own genius. 8. Alcohol is scientifically accurate to his genius. Justin Roiland stated Rick's constant drinking was written to represent a real phenomenon, functional alcoholism masking trauma. 9. Mrs. Pancakes' name came from an inside joke. Her name was a leftover from a random word generator the writers used for absurd humor, meant to sound sexy and ridiculous. 10. Unity's Planet Orgy took 4 animation teams. That chaotic sequence of bodies and hosts took longer to animate than any other Season 2 scene. 11. Rick's car, AI voice actress, also voiced a side character on Community, a nod to Dan Harmon's older show, adding meta-symmetry between his worlds. 12. Rick's brief flirtation with power mirrors, real-world narcissism research. The writers intentionally consulted a psychologist to make Rick's hunger for control follow the patterns of grandiose narcissism. 13. Tammy's betrayal was meant to be the anti-love story. It's the writer's statement that in Rick's world, even love arcs end with a gunfight. 14. Diane's death, or disappearance, shaped 3 entire arcs. Her absence is referenced in Rick's drinking, his avoidance of family bonds, and even his refusal to die peacefully. 15. Rick's only real constant lover is Consequence. Every time Rick loves, something dies. Every time he destroys, he learns nothing. And that's the real heart of his tragedy. Love without growth. Genius without healing. So there you have it. Every love interest Rick Sanchez ever had, ranked by fans who can't decide whether to pity him or praise him. Because for every genius invention he's made, there's one thing Rick still can't engineer. Real love. If you liked this video, please subscribe and be the first to get notified when a new video drops.
Summer?
Yeah, well, he called me a lemur. Let's just go find Grandpa. Maybe he can portal us home or something.